That's a violation, and that's where someone's going to get hurt. I predict. If you're going to have people flying overheads, you kind of gotta be really careful. Gotta be careful. That's a violation, and that's where someone's going to get hurt. I predict. I think we could say the sweet spot is 1,000 and less. It's kind of like a scale of notice, right? You have one person, you say, hey, I'm going to fly a drone over your head. Do you consent? They're like, go for it. They're a participant. You can fly directly over their head. Even if it, clonks them, you've got their permission. That's kind of the concept there, is my understanding of the rules. I would think like a big public event, 10,000 people, that's a no-go, no-fly, airspace concern. Because I think if you're 1 in 10,000 at like a ticketed event, let's say a professional sports game, just because you're going to a professional sports game, you can't be expected to like really reasonably have the ability to give your consent to have a aircraft flying over your head, right? My personal interpretation of the rules to, if you're going to have something like that situation, if you want to get those sweet shots of the venue, it has to have a plan. The venue has to have a drone plan. Like I've flown over at like Navy Pier, very strict. They wanted to see a map. You know what? That's something I could share. So here's a flight plan that the Navy Pier had me put together. Yeah. So here's the event, ticketed event, at least 1,000 people, no operations over people. Operation was over water. If you want to check out some of the footage from this flight, I guess I should have it playing behind me, but you can find that on my YouTube archive, my archive of drone footage. Yeah, they wanted a clear launch point. They wanted a designated like safety zone for forced landings, emergency landings. And Navy Pier is busy. It's one of probably the most foot trafficked tourist attractions in the city of Chicago. So there's a lot of people, walking through this event, walking here on this side of the pier. So it was very important to come up with a plan and not fly over people, especially I'm flying drones that don't have those prop guards and they're a little bit bigger. So it's important that I take extra precautions to do this flight. Yeah, there's my process. You can see there's the profile of, which is the drone that I was flying, a Mavic Pro, DJI, banned now in the United States, apparently. See how that shapes out. It's an interesting world. If you're following the strict rules, like our friend Michael on LinkedIn, you're not going to get those really amazing marketing shots that you need in 2026 to be a competitive drone pilot. Risk reward. And I'm curious if there's anybody out there who's gotten a letter from the FAA or contacted by somebody in the government or a regulator, or are we enforcing this ourselves? People in the drone pilot community are on each other out for this kind of thing. I guess that's what I'm doing here now, but I guess what I'm looking for is more of like the educational component, bringing my experience versus like what's out there already on LinkedIn. So, and just kind of giving my 2 cents, my flavor. It's kind of like a preview of what it's like to work with ARNE.Technology. So that's my website. Yeah, check me out. If you want to learn more about drones, I also do scanning, laser scanning, GIS, GPS, mapping, GNSS, satellites, remote sensing. I do it all. Engineering, handyman work. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you found some enjoyment and education in this. Until next time, peace.